to this.
But see it, but it's grounded in something. It's not just some theory floating around here.
No, it's not just
it's grounded. See, when after your first class, and you said, the first thing you said to us was, get off the line of attack. Mm-hmm. I saw the next day a patient who was in an abusive relationship, and she would put herself on the line of attack. Mm-hmm. But I would never have been able to say that. I mean, I wouldn't have used those words.
No.
I would say, you're opening yourself up to abuse. But when you describe it as a behavior, and you see it in your movement, how you put yourself right in the way of the attacker.
You have to get out of your own way. Isn't that true? Whether it's a physical attack or a verbal, you have to know how to be able to handle that. And the best way to handle verbal attacks, if somebody says something to you, is to give it back to them in a question form. And you redirect that energy that way, as we redirect energy physically while we're on the mat. We redirect the energy after we get off the line of attack. And this way we can neutralize the situation.
Well, you'd seem to give people the power to do that. I mean, with this particular person, she was stuck between two abusive people. Mm-hmm. And there was a physical technique you showed us on how to walk away from one and free yourself from the other, both at the same time, by taking a different direction.
Right.
Like going one way or the other. Either way, you take the power away from it.
But something so simple is not so simple when you have to apply it, especially for a woman that's in an abused relationship. So if somebody said later, let's say she got out of the abused relationship, and somebody says, well, why did you wait so long to get out when you knew that it was so hard on you? She could answer, if I knew then what I know now, things would have been different. And that's a recovery statement. Mm-hmm. Because when somebody says, why didn't you get out? Well, you really can't say that to anybody because you weren't in their shoes. You don't know how hard it is to get out of a situation. I mean, if somebody was physically attacking you, is it that easy just to get out of it? Mm-hmm. No. Mm-hmm. You're dealing with energy coming at you, and you have to be strong enough to know how to get off the line of attack. Because if you're not centered, what happens? People paralyzed. They're paralyzed when an attack comes. They don't know what to do, and they've given their power away. So the same thing in a relationship between a controller and somebody that's being controlled. She's afraid to have power. That's why she's in that position. And the controller's afraid to lose his power. So they're together because of a fear. When she decides, I want to make my own decisions, I want to be in control of my life, then we have an imbalance, don't we?
Right.
Because he doesn't like that. So either the relationship ends or it becomes more destructive if she stays. Well, unless she leaves. But think about this. If he says, okay, you can have your power, and I'll have mine, and then with the two of us, we'll have the power of two people. Now, this relationship will be able to get through anything in life, and it'll reach a very high vibration because it'll be balanced. The control doesn't belong anywhere, not in a relationship situation, not in a business, not anywhere. Control doesn't fit anywhere in our lives, and this is what I'm talking about in the book. And if we didn't have that control, we wouldn't be in all these situations. Wars, that's based on, of course, somebody controlling somebody else. And when you're coming from control, you're coming from a very low vibration. A mindset.
See, I would think that helping the controller see that,
yes,
it's a sign of his own weakness or his own fear. And
yes,
that if he could let go, that he can grow up,
yes,
but he has to let go of control. And that would help him be able to see that he could do this without losing face, as it were.
Right, because fear, it has an effect on people. He's afraid to give his power away. He's afraid to lose it. And he's so afraid that he has to control somebody. So it's fear-based. Mm. And there is a chapter in the book called Fear, the Demon of Life. Because out of everything in life, fear is behind every fear-based thought. It's behind everything, as far as control, people that want to acquire things in life through, lower vibration means. Disease, it's fear-based.
Chronic fear. Right.
It's through fear-based, all these diseases we have. There's a
There's an
fear-based
epidemic of fear in our culture.
Right, and people...
But people don't understand how terrified they are. Well, especially in our culture today.
Right.
With everything falling apart, what we thought was stable or what we thought was secure isn't. We can't find our security outside ourselves. Now, for you, it's like you found out that one of the core issues in life is how to acknowledge and address your fear.
That's right.
Now, if you were teaching women about this, would you do it? I mean, like, they don't have to take a keto to do this. It's just helping them understand that if they can see their fear, and they can manage it.
They have to process and find out where it's coming from first.
Mm.
A lot of people don't know where it's the origin of the fear. Maybe it's something they picked up from their parents or somebody else, and they hadn't processed, and it's still inside of them. So they have to start by processing that energy, the negative energy that's inside of them. But I do speak to women that are in shelters, and they're amazed at the things that I speak about. They really are hungry for this. Because a lot of it is they're not aware of this information. They didn't know that you could get out of the way. They don't know a lot of things, but they're open to it.
If you put the words to them, it resonates with them right away. But isn't it strange?
Sometimes, but sometimes not.
No.
Because
okay.
sometimes, at one point I talked about you have to be relaxed. And the word relaxation means things to different people. And I was speaking to a group of women that were abused, and one lady said while I was speaking, "What do you mean relax? How do you relax when you know pain is coming? How can you relax when you know somebody's getting ready to kick you or punch you?" So that was really good for me, because as I speak to different groups, I have to define that word relax for them as opposed to maybe to somebody else that's not in an abused relationship. So I told her, relax comes from being centered.
Mm.
And when it's not that you're centered and you're relaxed first. Relaxation comes from being centered. But if you're centered, abuse won't even be a part of your life, so you won't even be in that situation. And
wow.
That's what she had to understand. It wasn't that you just lay there. No, it means that you're able to think and understand things when you're relaxed. When you're stressed, it's very difficult to think.
Well, do you help them understand and talk about centering?
Yes, I do centering exercises so they can feel it physically. Because when they see me, and I'm at my size, 5'1" and 95 pounds.
What the hell do you know? That's what they would say.
Yes, they go. Yes,
right.
Yeah, because it's not about size. We're talking about an internal power. We're talking about a mindset. We're talking about a vibration that has nothing to do with size or weight. It has nothing to do with the physical.
Wow.
So it's very powerful.
So, but they can't imagine it until you walk them through some steps. And then the centering kind of experience. The
centering, when they understand that when somebody grabs them, that they're really not stuck, and they feel they are physically. When we show them you can use the whole body to get out of it, it's a huge, profound sight for them to see. Just like you are training in Aikido, and my students, when we show them not to focus on the grab, but to move your whole body, that's foreign to them, people that start martial arts, and at least in Aikido. Mm. It was foreign to me, especially because of my size, when everybody around me outweighed me, and in every, different ways, size. It was a real struggle to learn, because I was even lighter when I started Aikido in 1982. I was 83 pounds.
God bless you.
So I really had to learn the concepts and learn them quick to survive in a class.